Karen, where do you want to be for my eye line?
You look at me. Janice was looking here, I think. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's great.
Are you recording?
Yep, recording. Okay, first question. How did you feel when you were asked to take part in the series?
Well, I first found out about it through David Morrissey, who got in touch and passed on your details to me. And he said, look, mate, I did it and I had a great time. And I thought, yeah, okay. Then I thought, he's David Morrissey. Like, who'd be interested in what I have to say and what, who gives a fuck about my career, But anyway, I was assured that people would turn up, and David was so positive about the experience. He said it was just a magical night, and I thought, okay, all right, I'll do it. And I think I was harangued and badgered for about 6 months because I still felt kind of a little bit weird about it. I still felt it's a strange thing to have all that focus on you, and I didn't know, because I'm sort of naturally kind of outgoing, I suppose, but we all get shy, and then when the attention is all on you and the whole event is about you, that's like, I got quite anxious about it. But anyway, we eventually firmed up a date, and I thought, right, well, I'm definitely going to do it, and I picked my tracks, and yeah, I'm really glad I did it. Really super glad I did it.
And how did you pick your tracks?
How did I pick my tracks? I picked 6 tracks that I've just been playing recently on my...
Should we start that one again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
We just do that again.
Sorry.
I really just picked 6 tracks that I've been listening to on my iPhone recently. But I tried not to pick any super recent ones. And also I picked a Steely Dan one, which was something that they were a band that I loved when I was teenaging around Liverpool. So yeah, I tried to pick ones that meant something to me, were personal to me. I had a Smiths track, and I did have a Smiths track, didn't I? What one was it?
How Soon Is Now.
Now. Yeah, I just played that on my on my radio show. And yeah, so I had Steely Dan, How Soon Is Now, I had Deer Hunter. That was a more recent one that I picked because it made me miss my family and my kids when I was working in New York a couple of years ago, and I was having quite a bit of a lonely time. And then I Shazammed this song, Deer Hunter, this Desire line it's called. And I love that about the modern world. You can just sort of walk into a shop. Because usually you go into a shop and say, what's this music? And I don't know. No one ever knows, no one even cares. And then with Shazam, suddenly it's like, okay, that's it. I do find actually quite often though that I Shazam quite a few things that I never bother listening to again. But that one in particular, that just stuck in my head, And then to hear these versions played on the night, these wonderful acoustic versions by these really super talented musicians who were just bursting with music and talent. It was a super emotional experience.
How did it feel being in St George's Hall?
St George's Hall is one of the most, it's maybe the nicest building. Nicest, what a word. I'd say it's St George's Hall is like the most staggeringly beautiful building I've ever been in. It's incredible. I thought I wasn't worthy to be on that stage. I'm thinking back to the night now, and it's kind of it was such a trip, to have, because it was packed out. I sold out, and in this beautiful hall, and being able to bang on about my work and my life, and, it was great. It was great. I love that place. I'd love to do something else there. I'd love to do something else there. It was fantastic. It was, I hadn't been in it since I was a kid. I went in it as a kid. My dad took me there to an antiques fair, and I just remember feeling it was magic from then. It had a sort of Harry Potter vibe to it, and it was, what a venue. It's the perfect place.
And what was it like in front of a home audience and your family?
Yeah, well, so it was a home audience. My family, a lot of my family were there. My granddad, some aunts and uncles, and people. My sister was there, and my mum and dad, and so it felt very, it was very intimate. Although it's a huge, there was a lot of people. I sold out. It was quite an intimate. I felt like it could be pretty candid. And Mike Leary was he's such a skilled interviewer, such a laugh as well, and the tone of the evening was. I felt like I could talk about serious stuff and silly stuff, and we had a lot of laughs, and people sort of got involved. Really, I think we had like questions, and it was great. I was a bit worried because I haven't been back to Liverpool. I don't get back as much as I'd like to, because I live in London now, and since I was, became an actor and was in entertainment, whatever, you sort of got to kind of be down here to do what I do. So I hadn't been back for quite a while, but I loved it, and I loved meeting the people that I met afterwards. I had some really great conversations. I met some people that I hadn't seen some old friends that I hadn't seen for years.
Brilliant. Is there a moment in the night that stands out to you, especially?
I think it was when my standout moment was when who's the girl who sang the Smiths song?
Laura James.
Laura James, yeah. I think it was when Laura James sang the Smiths song and gave me some gladioli, and then went on to sing this sort of incredible, turned upside down, beautiful version of How Soon Is Now, and it was one of the few moments in that whole night that I had to sort of hold back tears, literally. I don't cry easily, but it happened about 5 or 6 times during the night.
And who would you like to see in conversation?
Macca would be good. Paul McCartney. Hey, if you're listening, just do it. Just do it. It was great. I had a great time. He'd be fantastic. Don't know who else. Maybe Ian McCulloch, although he might nick a few of the fittings there from the hall. Where's the pipes off this organ? Who else from Liverpool? Has Alexi done it? Has Alexi Sale done it? No.
Boston.
I'd love to see Alexi Sale doing it, because I'm a huge fan of his.
Can you think of any women?
Women. I tell you who would be great. Alison Steadman. She would be fantastic. She's so funny and so interesting,